Boy, oh boy. Let's not bury the lead. First things first, welcome to CNN. I'm your host, Kirk Kennedy. Let's go in. On this channel, we take no part in the unfruitful works of darkness, but instead expose them. Explosion! Overpowering. That's my LL Cool J Mama Said Knock You Out reference. Explosion. DOJ announces no client list for Jeffrey Epstein. And people are upset. The irony is the people that are upset that I'm seeing, that I'm going to talk about, are not the left. It's Trump's people who seem to be upset. So let's go to the reality. All right, here we go. So Axios was given access to this story. They broke this news story that basically said that President Trump's Justice Department and FBI have concluded they have no evidence that convicted sex offender and disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein blackmailed popular figures, kept a client list, or was unalived, according to a memo detailing the findings obtained by Axios, right? And the article goes down and just explain different things. It says why it matters. The findings represent the first time Trump's administration has officially contradicted conspiracy theories about Epstein's activities and his death. Theories that had been pushed by the FBI's top two officials before Trump appointed them to the Bureau. All right. This is a crazy story. And let me tell you why. Let me tell you why this is a crazy story. Because when Trump took office, if you remember, Trump said that he was going to be releasing a lot of documents, a lot of files, right? And he did. He released documents on JFK. I mean, people have been wondering what happened to him. He released documents on MLK. I guess you got to have three initials and an ending K to get exposed. He did JFK. He did MLK. And, you know, interesting, those are both things that Democrats relate to, right? The JFK was a Democrat. MLK, many of them say he was Democrat, socialist, all this type of stuff, right? So Trump releases those, and we heard pound for pound, especially from Pam Bondi, who's the head of the DOJ, that she had the Epstein files and was looking through them, and Trump said he was going to release all of it. And then we heard, shh, it was quiet. Now, normally, I'm not tripping. This isn't my world. I'm just trying to give y'all a perspective from somebody who believes what you believe, all right? So we didn't hear anything. We heard nada, nothing, right, for a minute. A couple of weeks ago, though, Elon Musk and Trump get into it. Elon Musk finishes his tenure with DOJ, the Department of Government Efficiency, which made a lot of people angry because he was cutting a lot of jobs, and they were doing it in such a manner that people didn't even have time to prepare to get their houses in order. None of that stuff, right? Some people loved it. If you voted for Trump, you applauded it. It was necessary, all this stuff, right? But then there were people who voted for Trump that lost their jobs too, and it wasn't the same thing. But anyway, so that happens, and then it looks like, oh, these two billionaires are buddies, but everyone said this billionaire boys club is not going to last, and sure enough, they start going at it, right? And in typical, I don't know what it is about people who have a lot of money. It's almost like there's a fountain of youth mentally. Like these people influence a lot of what happens in our culture, and it was like watching two adolescent boys, you know, say, I'm rubber, you're glue, whatever you say bounces off to me and sticks to you, right? So they're going back and forth, Trump and Musk, all right? Musk is threatening to start his own Republican Party if Trump passes this big, beautiful bill, which he says undermines everything that DOJ was trying to do. Trump shoots back, saying, first of all, Musk is an immigrant. We have to even investigate whether or not he can be in the country based upon the Supreme Court's allowing Trump to deport people based on Trump's official standards. They go back and forth, and then Elon Musk drops a bombshell and basically says the reason why, and I'm paraphrasing, this isn't what he said, but the reason why we have not heard of the Jeffrey Epstein list is because Trump's on it. You can't make this up. I'm paraphrasing, but Elon Musk threw a bomb that basically said Trump's on the Epstein list. That's why we haven't seen the files. This is Trump said that. Elon Musk said this. And Trump, in typical fashion, is insulting him. So it was just weird watching these two guys who said, Elon Musk, I gave him $250 million so that he can become president. Watching this whole weird dynamic play out. Keep in mind, we're just Americans watching this play out. If you were for it, you're like, oh man, they can do no wrong. And I've been telling people for the last year plus, the Lord is going to expose the right. He exposed the left 100%, and I was glad for it. I did not like them ladies at Black Lives Matter. All of that stuff was wild to me. I wasn't with it. I've never voted Democrat in my life, but I don't trust the Republicans either. So I'm just watching this. I'm watching it play out. Everyone, all my people who conservatives, I told you this was this. I said, okay, you know why? Because the conservatives do not care about Christ and Him. The only thing you should get twisted is the crown of thorns, fam. And you can take that one. You don't even got credit me. Just take it. So then all of a sudden, we start seeing this happen and happen and happen. Tucker Carlson's gone. Candace Owens is beefing with the Daily Wire. Tucker Carlson leaves Fox. And you see this happening. And now you get to Trump and Elon Musk, and they're insulting each other like we did when I was in elementary school. Man, your mother's so black. She woo-woo-woo. I mean, all that type of stuff, right? Elon Musk drops the bomb. Trump's on the Epstein files. And then eventually, within a couple of days, he's apologizing for what he said. Because he's realizing, I'm powerful, but Trump actually does hold the power. Because Trump was going to cut money going to electric vehicle funding, which is largely what Tesla does, and would have given Elon Musk a ton of money. That's why they're saying he didn't want the big beautiful bill to pass. The big beautiful bill passes, and Elon Musk says he's starting a new political party called the American Party. So that's going to take conservatives and split them in half. It's going to all the people who think it's going to be chaos. All right. Time goes by. Time keeps on slipping into the future. Which I know about that Steve Miller Band joint. Y'all know nothing about that. Beat your chest if you know about Steve Miller Band. Couple weeks later, here's what happens. Axios drops this article. Bam. There is no DOJ list. Here's what's going on now. So now I'm looking online. I'm seeing people are going bonkers. But it's not the people you think. You would think, and I'm sure that if I were a Democrat, especially in the political realm, you know what I would be doing right now? I'd be just chilling. Because they are watching, just like the Republicans were watching them kind of implode because of Black Lives Matter and all the stuff that was coming with that, and trying to change people's sexual ethic and forcing people to not even know what a woman is, despite the fact that people say they believe in science, not God. And now you're telling me science doesn't know what a woman is, right? All this stuff is happening right before our eyes. The left was just imploding, and now, man, it's the right's turn. It's the right. Look at this. I'm not making this up. This is it. The people that are the biggest supporters of Trump are now all of a sudden having some problems. Let's check this out. This is, let me make this a little bigger. Let me make sure you know what this is. This is a group of guys. These are two twins, two light-skinned, half black, half white, I think twins. They are called the Hodge twins. I've watched these dudes. These dudes are MAGA to the core, right? If MAGA had a fake, these dudes would be in the photo. If in the dictionary, MAGA's finest, they would be right up there, right? These dudes, I've seen them cut the left down, mock the left. They got a huge following on social media. And here's what they did. And so they look at they respond to Robbie Starbuck. I don't know if you know who Robbie Starbuck is. Robbie Starbuck is a big time Trump dude. I mean, big time MAGA, big time Trump dude. He puts this out not too long ago. Says Pam Bondi said the Epstein client list was on her desk to review for release to the public just a few months ago. Now the DOJ she leads claims there's no Epstein client list. Sorry, but this is unacceptable. And then he has this video clip
DOJ
playing.
may
Watch
be
this.
releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a direct. I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing JFK files, MLK files. That's all in the process of being reviewed because that was done at the directive of the president from all of these agencies.
So have you seen anything that you said, oh my gosh?
Not yet.
DOJ may be releasing.
It went black for a reason, folks. So you got Robbie Starbuck basically saying, wait a minute, what's going on here, man? Why is this happening, right? And then you have the Hodge twins, all right? So you got the Hodge twins who are basically following him and saying, Pam Bondi lied to us. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. Boy, oh boy. Now let me tell you why I appreciate this. I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. I don't trust any of them. People get offended. 100% I get it. Put your confidence in these people so that the Lord can break it away. The confidence we got to have cannot be in these people. Yes, we want to live in a civil society. Yes, vote your conscience, but don't lose your conscience for a vote, right? Vote with character, not against it, right? That's between you and the Lord. I don't vote anymore because of the drama, because as a pastor, I have to pastor people in a church. I do not have a one-party church. I have people who have their own convictions and preferences. And unless you tell me that you support, in specific, something simple, I'm not coming after that. And that's, some people get offended at that. Do what you do. When I stand up for the Lord, I'll let him tell me if I was wrong or right? But here's the reality. Here's what I appreciate about their responses. I think a lot of people in politics, especially for years, one of the biggest problems I personally had with Candace Owens was an inability to critique her own party. It was all the Blexit and all the Democrats, and it was all that. And I'll never forget watching, I think his name was Hawk. Was it Hawk Nelson? He was of the Black Lives Matter New York, one of the New York part. And I watched him debate her. It was a good interview. It was the first time I saw Candace Owens like really put on her heels. And he made a point that, like, what do you expect black people to do? Vote Democrat? Is that what you're saying? Like, leave the Democratic Party? She was like, no, just don't support the Democrat. He was like, well, where are you going to go, though? And then they come out with Larry Elder drops his Uncle Tom documentaries, in which the first one, those black Republicans say the Republican Party doesn't want black people in it, right? And tells them to don't waste your time, right? Water where the garden grows or something like that. So it was like, so it was a crazy stuff happening, but I watched them the whole time just critique and do all this stuff, right? And then now you see this happening on the other side, and it's crazy. So now you have all these people who are super Trump supporters, who are saying, who were at least, who are getting offended. Now, to their credit, I respect the fact that they have integrity enough to say she lied to us. They're not saying Trump lied. They're saying she lied, but she works for Trump. They don't want to say Trump lied yet. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why people often lack integrity in these things. Not lack integrity. That's the wrong word, because that implies they're not telling the truth and they know it. I'm sorry. I apologize. I don't want to say that about people because I don't know their heart. I'm not the Lord. Here's what I'm trying to say. Here's why people won't admit that they're wrong. I'll say that. They won't admit that something's wrong until recently. Because if you write a book or you defend a position, you attack something based on a notion that you have and what you believe to be true, and then all of a sudden stuff that comes out and attacks that, then everything that you stood for and everything that you said, you have to throw away. Like an example, and I haven't done a video on this yet, and I've been tempted to do this about Israel. I just led my church the last 2 weeks on who is Israel and why Israel even existed because of all the pressure to support Israel and all this. And I said, okay, let's just say, is that true or not? I walked my church through that 2 weeks in a row. I have stuff to say about Israel that I don't know if anyone is, I'm sure someone else has said it. There's no way that a regular old dude from the DMV and DC is saying this stuff. But I got some stuff that I may do a video on that. But I don't know. If you guys are interested, you let me know. If not, we'll keep it moving. But what I appreciate is this. they're showing that, hey, despite the fact that we've stood behind all of this and said all that, we're willing to call out our side and say this is cap. This is cap. That's what they're saying. Pam Bondi lied to us, right? That's what they're saying. She lied to us. Robbie Starbuck, this is unacceptable. Remember, this is the conservative, the MAGA party that look like we're unshakable, especially after January 6th, 2021. They look like, oh, we're together, we're united, we're this, we're coming after the Dems. And let me just say this, and I could be wrong, because I'm not a Democrat. I didn't support Biden, didn't want Kamala to win, but I didn't want, I don't know, you know what I wanted? I wanted Jesus to come back. That's what I wanted. On one level, I did. I wanted Jesus to come back. I'm not realistic. Let's be clear. Every Christian who says, I can't wait for Jesus to come back, they may mean it, but many of them are forgetting that, like, okay, are you ready for the Lord to open up the books of life and look at your life and be like, here's how you did, let's give an account? I don't know if anybody's really ready for that, but that's a different video. But what I appreciate is the integrity to say there's a problem. But now you have another problem, Trump. You have another problem. Trump created a thorn in the flesh. And here's his thorn in the flesh. His name is Elon Musk. Here's what Elon Musk put out. Not too long ago, he's mocking Pam Bondi, who works directly for Trump. And he says, look, we will release the Epstein list, putting on clown makeup. We just need more time. More clown makeup. The Epstein list is on my desk. More clown makeup. There is no Epstein list. Clown makeup. This was happening. Like Donald Trump, let's be clear, and I'm not saying this to mock the president. What I'm saying is Donald Trump is a troll for real. He's just a troll. He trolls people and he enjoys it. But Elon Musk is a troll too. And he's got a lot of money. And while Trump may be, I think he's got more money than Trump. I don't know. I don't have to know. But he's already said he's making a new party called the American Party. What is that going to do for American politics? Well, one, if you're a conservative, you may just be giving the Democrats the presidency for the next few years, because Elon Musk is basically running against conservatives, against Republicans, against MAGA Republicans for this bill being passed and being treated the way a lot of other people have felt like they were being treated that are on the left. It's so listen, if you're a believer and you're a conservative, vote your conscience. No one is telling you not. You got to stand up for the Lord and give an account. But can you have the integrity to say, I cannot trust this dude? How is there no list anymore? No list. When she just said in the clip that we just watched, it's sitting on my desk. I have the list. And then Alina Hobb, which is, I think, Trump's one of his lawyers, said it's a disgusting list. She was on Piers Morgan. It's going to be shocking, all this stuff. And now there's no list. And Elon Musk said before they said this, he's on the list. That's why it hasn't come out. And do you know that Benjamin Netanyahu, Bibi Netanyahu, is in town this past weekend meeting with Trump? And apparently the word on the street was that Jeffrey Epstein worked for Mossad, and that by him doing these things and getting American politicians to go to his island, and if it's true what they were doing, it was despicable things. They did that so that they could shape American politics. This is what people are saying. Candace Owens will say this. Other people are saying that Jeffrey Epstein worked for the Israeli special forces that basically was given money so that he could get American politicians to participate in these ungodly sexual acts with people that are underage, so that he had leverage on them. Israel had leverage on them for politics, which is why Candace Owens and others would say why America is so ardent in supporting Israel. I don't know if this is all that stuff doesn't matter to me. I'm just saying it's all interesting that it's coming out. Here's what matters to me. You, if you're a believer, you matter to me. I don't care who you vote for. You matter because you said, I vote for Jesus first. I vote for Jesus more than these people. Because Trump cannot save your eternal soul. Biden cannot save your eternal soul. No one can. You chose Jesus because you know reality, even if we live sometimes in a surreality. I care about you, not because you should change your vote, but don't put your allegiance to anything that takes away the character of the God that you serve. This is what I care about. Now, you're not in my church, most of you. I have a church I'm responsible for, but I care about the church. If you are a Christian, I make these videos not to be gossip oriented or to be smug or self-righteous, so that you can see someone who also believes what you believe, but that is willing to say, and I did the same thing for the Democrats. I put out videos again. I didn't trust them. I wasn't riding. I wasn't riding with Biden. But I'm not going to slump for Trump. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. And I'm telling you, too many believers are placing so much hope in the American dream. And from God's perspective, the American dream is a nightmare. Now, of course, you want to have stability in your nation, of course, those things. But many of us will give up the character of grace because we know the doctrines of it. God cares about, when people say, well, what do I do? Here's what you do. You may not know who should I do, what should I vote for, what should this, but here's what's always important to God in every situation. Here's what you can ask. What fruit of the Spirit do I need to have right now? There are times I'm in a tough situation, or I know I'm going to, especially if I'm pulling up, it's a counseling situation or different comment. I'll just say, okay, Lord, what action of love is required of me right now? And I'll go through the list. Love is patient, love is kind. It is not envy, it does not boast, it is not rude, it doesn't insist on its own way, it doesn't keep a record of wrong, it is not irritable, it's not. I'll go through the list and try to think, okay, this is how I need to be. I need to not be irritable and not insist on my own way. So when I go into said situation, whatever it is, right? If you're a believer, you gotta be willing to say, yeah, I vote this way, but I don't trust these people at all. And don't say, well, I don't trust them, I trust Jesus. Let me tell you how you know if you trust these people. If you take up their sentiments, their political sentiments. So if you have hatred towards the Democrats or hatred towards these people then you trust them, because you will not find a credible Bible passage that tells you to hate your neighbor. You will not find a credible Bible passage that says that your policy to God is more important than the persons of God. People are made in God's images. Policies are not. So if you're hating people, you're ending, then you trust those people. Don't be deceived. Don't be deceived. You trust wherever your character demonstrates, right? Whatever character you demonstrate is who you trust, is who you serve. James said, look, if you break one commandment, you're breaking them all. Don't be deceived by the cultural conceptions of love and faith. Don't do that. Those are political concoctions. What does the Bible say? If you can't say with a clear conscience, I genuinely love these people and pray for people who I have different political affiliations for, you may be in trouble. That's why I make these videos. Ultimately, I don't care what happens. Of course I do. I mean, I live in America. I got kids that are going to grow up, as far as I know, in this country. Sure, I do on some level, but ultimately, I don't care what Trump does, what Biden, whoever it is. What I care about is my character. Care about your character more than the political hysteria. But it's important, pay attention, because God is showing his people, in the words of Killmonger from Black Panther, this is your king? This is your king. The president, that's your king? This is your king? He needs to go over the edge, right? And we need to be like, Lord, regardless of what I believe politically, let me care about what you care about eternally. That's what matters. But what do I know? I'm just making videos to keep making them. Grace and peace.